and welcome to the Ryoho Wellness Podcast. This is Margit Jepperson and I am here with Andrei Gospodarczyk, the founder of Ryoho. The vision behind Ryoho Wellness is to create a tipping point in wellness worldwide, and this podcast will contribute towards that. In each episode, we explore different health issues that present as case studies in Andrei's practice. They range from everyday common health problems through to extremely serious health issues and illnesses. We explore body parts and how they respond to nutrition and environment, and we work on inspiring people to change their life for good through an everyday wellness focus. Ryoho is a wellness modality that is unique because it focuses on healing and wellness through basic food and exercises that maneuver the body back to a state of balanced health. People literally jump out of their skin with energy and vitality when they follow Ryoho. And it's an incredible turnaround for many who have had low energy for years through to people who have had complex health issues that don't seem to budge. The podcast is an interview format and ranges from 20 to 60 minutes. And if you'd like more of an introduction on Andrei, please see the 3-minute introduction in the first podcast on the homepage. And at the end, I'll be here to give you a little bit more information. So without further ado, let's get into this episode. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love summer. I love the warmth and the energy and the feeling and the lightheartedness and spending time with family and friends and loved ones. It's a fantastic season. This episode is actually one of a 2-part series on summer, designed to help you get the absolute most out of this glorious warm season. It's all about the key elements of summer that you can use to your advantage to optimise your wellness in between all of that festivity and celebration, and we hope you enjoy. Finally, we've arrived in summer, and summer everywhere in the world is a time of great celebration, of feasting, of holidays, of indulging, of eating a lot of amazing food, fruits, vegetables, seafood, meats, and getting together with friends and family and loved ones, and really, I guess, letting our hair down. And what I would like you to open with is a little bit of a discussion about how does a person manage their way through the summer months and what are the implications for wellness?
We're very lucky with indulgences during the summer months because even though we eat a lot more food than we really should, and there's always some kind of festival involved in the summer time, and there is a time of abundance like I talked about, and we are going to drink a little bit too much and eat a little bit too much. The body can handle it. It's normal to celebrate and feel abundant and enjoy the abundance of that time of the year. It's what you should do, is lounge around and enjoy the fruits of your labour that were cultivated over the winter, spring and autumn time. We have a better digestive system. The only danger is indulging in the wrong thing. And yes, we do have a little bit of alcohol. We have too much fruit and juices, but your body can handle a little bit of that. Traditional cultures know that alcohol needs to have something to balance it. So if you go to Greece and order to drink, if you go to Turkey, if you go to India, they always serve you something with it, a little pickle or a salty something or a little dried fish or something like that to make balance. So if you're indulging, make sure that you have some salty food or some food that balances the alcohol. If you're having fruit, make sure that you maybe cook it a little bit, make pies, make jellies, and use a tiny pinch of salt in the cooking of it. Choose the things that you're indulging in as sensible. And if you speak to people who know how the body works and have been around a long time and seen how society has survived, they'll tell you that there's a time for indulgence and there's a time for not indulging. So usually there's some time of fasting and cleansing, then there's a time of abundance. But we're overdoing it most of the time. That's the unfortunate thing. That's okay. It's difficult to know what the right things are to do. But during the indulgence time, make sure that you're having the right things that you should indulge in. Don't have huge animal products in the middle of summer. It doesn't work. And if you're having alcohol, balance it out with a little bit of seafood. So have the seafood first, then the alcohol second. Put a little bit of food in your stomach first.
Does this apply to everyone? And what I'm thinking about is we hear a lot of reports in the media about elderly people who aren't coping that well with heat waves. And indeed, also children are another segment of our community which are perhaps a little bit more fragile.
Know that certain foods are right for your environment and right for you. If you're very old or very young, there's different things to do in the summer months. If you're a child, make sure that abundance time, there's lots of protein, that there's lots of food that the body can use to grow and evolve, because it's a big time of growth and building muscle and building tone and building the circulatory system and distributing those nutrients so that your muscles and the tone in your body can set itself up. Be outside and be active to make some balance for that indulgence. If you're very old, it's important to not have too much animal product and salt, because older people are usually not that active, so you can't use up the salt. And so having things like pork and salty food and lots of rich food is not going to work for people if they're over 70. These simple ideas can be really helpful in maintaining your health.
And if people do feel like they have given indulgence a little bit of a nudge and they have a headache or a hangover, or if their stomach hurts because of too much rich food, what are some of the simple remedies that can help them feel better?
If we're having a big indulgence, there's also medicines. If you have headaches, hangovers, if your stomach hurts, there's simple little remedies like just eating brown rice for a couple of days and letting your body balance out again so that you can recover. There's always sensible things that you can do with overindulgence, knowing things like umeboshi plums can fix a hangover and make balance for that. Otherwise, you can feel lousy for days and be not good company for everyone if you've overdone it. And it neutralizes the acids in the head. Just having half an umeboshi plum first thing in the morning works better than bacon and eggs for curing a hangover. And things like having miso soup and gamasio and rice for a day after you've had too much fruit and sugar, and that balances it a little bit. It helps a little bit in balancing out that overindulgence from feasting and having a party and losing control. And the danger is having some sugar and then the next day having sugar again, and the next day having sugar again, and then the sugar creates its own addiction. This is a problem. If you have a bit of sugar, don't have more the next day. That's the only problem. Then your body doesn't adjust to the sugar, and you don't get that addicted reaction to something very strong like sugar. It's nice to have treats. That's what it's for at time. But be careful and don't just keep having day after day after day. That's the danger. If you're basically healthy, you can feel when you've had too much. But if you're unwell, you might not be able to tell if you've had too much and run into serious problems in the heat and cause yourself some real damage. Sometimes people end up not coming back from holidays very well, damaged and bruised and sore inside in the digestive system. But most of us have a time off so we can indulge and relax. And there's an only little danger in that, as I was saying, is that when you're doing nothing, it's easy to indulge yourself. You can be drunk or overeat and not have to get up off the couch. It's relatively easy. But if you need to do something like stand up and walk around and be involved with someone or something, then it's difficult. So if you're doing nothing, it's okay. But summer is a time of activity, not just indulgence. It's a time of great energy. So being out there, getting up early in the morning and going for a walk usually keeps your brain firmly stuck on top of your digestive system and some connection happening there, and you won't hurt yourself too much. My strongest advice is just be out there and be a little bit connected to people and have a little tiny bit of responsibility for other people's feelings, and you'll find that you don't overindulge yourself. You'll be a little bit more reasonable. Feel like you're part of a community, and by talking to people, connecting with them, using not just the food part, but all of the summer abundances. The main ones, of course, are connecting and being involved with other people, not just putting things in your mouth. I hope that's a good little guide for people. Get up in the morning, go for a walk, be active, feel the world, enjoy the summer, have fun.
There was a few gems that came out of that. One of them is that you said to make sure that you don't have sugar day after day after day, because that's when it'll start to do some damage. What I was thinking is that when you first start with a client, you say it takes 3 days to start to change your blood over and start to change the digestive system. So it works the other way too, right?
Absolutely, yeah, change. It takes you sleep overnight and your body tries to adapt to the activities and whatever indulgences or good things you did the day before. And then your body adjusts a little bit to that. So your body overnight will always try to adapt to the day's functions and become more efficient at whatever you're doing. So if you ran the day before or if you ate sugar the day before, your body will try to adapt overnight and then your body will measure that reaction. It will try to cope with that. And then one more night, and then the third day, you will find that your body has changed.
People being in tune with their body and what's going on is something you always talk about. It's about running a mental check over your body in the morning before you get out of bed to see how it's feeling and what's going on and where the stress points might be. It's a great tip for developing a much stronger relationship with your body. I'm reminded of people who come back from their summer holidays and they look fantastic. Their eyes are white and sparkling, they're tanned and they look healthy and they look relaxed. And then there's other people who come back and with the change of season, they promptly get sick. Their eyes aren't quite as sparkly. They've overindulged and you can see that. So your advice is really to build this very strong relationship with your body, take stock and manage your way through summer. In fact, manage your way through any season, but we are talking about summer here and the indulgent and festive period that we all go through.
Manage your way through the summer period by understanding that there's gifts available to you in the summer on a more material level than there is in the winter months, and enjoy them. But try to enjoy what nature is really providing. It's not providing animal products, it's providing abundant vegetables. The animals are more available for consumption in autumn and winter to store up your fat a little bit, put on your winter coat, as we say. And get slim down, be light and vibrant. In other words, do more in the summer months, but of course, enjoy the foods that go with that summer month season of more activity, which is vegetables and salads and grains, which will keep you sustained and strong and vibrant. There's a much greater opportunity of being active and vibrant with eating grains and vegetables and beans and salad. You'll be much more productive, happier, and much lighter. Your blood will be better quality, and you can indulge yourself in all those things. Some people might think that that's not an indulgence, but it all depends on cooking. It all depends on your skills. And add the treats, a little bit of dairy for those days that are based on celebration. But the activity is much more important than the food indulgences. Indulge yourself in other people. Indulge yourself in community, indulge yourself in music, maybe take up dancing lessons, maybe take up a gentle sport of some sort, aikido or yoga or something similar, and connect with people, join a club, join a group, learn a skill. And this is the right thing to do, is to share, connect and indulge yourself on a heart level rather than just food. I mean, yes, there's food there, and I keep saying that because it's what we should be doing, is indulging ourselves, enjoying the fresh fruits of summer and the strawberries and the watermelon and learning how to make jellies. But it shouldn't be all consuming. It shouldn't be overwhelming, the amount of food. And it's not just about that. It's about connecting with people. And anyone wise enough will tell you that. Anyone who's been around a little bit of time and had a little bit of good luck in their human development will tell you that the shared human experience is much more rewarding and comfortable and indulgent than the just food. So take a little bit of care there with the indulgences, and at the same time learn to indulge in connection with people. It's a much better type of indulgence that is available in summer.
Evolving on that point, you spoke earlier about that summer is an amazing time to heal heart. You talked about healing our history and understanding ourselves, and the heart is particularly important during summer. Can you elaborate on that, please?
So there's a lot of mental illness is associated with what we call the fire energy, or the heart and the digestive system fire. which is the small intestine function. When it gets too hot, the brain gets too hot and it tends to babble. And in that babbling, in that noise, in that excess, in that abundance, you can get lost and our thoughts can override us. So there is a danger there. And of course, the food that'll create too much fire in you is things like sugar and sugar derivatives like alcohol, and avoiding those sorts of products if you have those sorts of problems is a really good thing, where you get hysterical easily, have mental issues such as bipolar reactions where you're too up and then too down. This is a great time to stabilize those sorts of dysfunctions where they're disturbing you, they're making you uncomfortable. Maybe you're on some kind of medication. The other aspect of the circulatory system is, of course, the heart and the heart constrictor, which governs all of the blood flows, and it's a regulatory system. So if we look at the heart on the simplest level, on the Western medical structural anatomy type of picture, then we can see that it's just a valve, really, and regulates the energy. In the Ryoho way of thinking, we see it as not just a valve, but a gateway. If you just take that idea of a valve and a regulatory organ where it stabilizes and regulates the body's energies, and see it as not just a stabilizer, but a gate where it's acting like a gate for the rest of the body, where all the energies gather into the heart and then get distributed into different parts of the body. It creates a pathway for all of different types of foods, energies, heat, and nutrients that might be either gathered or wastes distributed and gathered back again and gotten rid of. So as a pathway, as a gate, and as a function, the heart becomes a very important center. It becomes something that the rest of the body needs to gather around. And having this little image in your mind, you can see that the heart needs to be open, flexible, and regulatory. But if it gets too hot, then it can have damage in there. If it gets too strong, we can overreact and we can have very strong feelings and very strong emotions. What happens then, unfortunately, is that the heart gets damaged a little bit and it can be overprotected, and it can, because it's such a soft organ, get some kind of hurt from getting overheated and overstimulated. So just be careful about overstimulating the heart with drugs that make you too happy, like coffee and alcohol, and recreational drugs that make you feel too good. They can hurt the heart a little bit, especially if you're in a hot environment. Now, the people in the know who've taken things and drugs that make you excessively euphoric or happy, things like ecstasy, marijuana, we all know that we get too hot. In other words, the big danger is not drinking enough liquid to cool you down again. So the heart can get damaged quite easily from this, and it can cause serious problems. So it's good to keep the heart cool, not get too excited by things like sugar and drugs like recreational drugs. Try to avoid those things in the summer months, or any time really. We should find natural ways of getting happy, like being with people and talking to them, which is what summer is all about. So the dangers in summer are overheating the heart and causing some little permanent damage in there. Now, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, it doesn't matter. Those damages can happen on many levels, where your heart gets hurt, where you end up not being able to communicate freely again. And it gets to the point where you need more and more coffee, more and more drugs, more and more sugar to feel comfortable. And it's not a good form of communication. Anyone not drinking coffee, talking to someone who's drinking a lot of coffee, finds it very uncomfortable because they're being bombarded by someone drinking coffee. It's over the top energy. It's not comfortable for anyone being in the presence of someone who's drinking a lot of coffee or taking drugs that speed the heart up. So these chemicals are a problem. If you combine that with heat, you get overly hot in the heart and you can have damage happen. You can have things like sugar, too much honey, even far too much fruit juice can have similar effects where it overstimulates the upper body. If you don't have fruit for a long time and have a little bit of fruit, you can get far too hot very quickly in the face, and it gives you a rush of sugar, a rush of energy. Little bits are nice. Feel what suits you. If you're a little bit emotionally damaged, if you feel like your heart is hurt, if you feel like you're scarred there, it's a great time to heal. And that healing can come just by allowing nature in, allowing the warmth in, enjoying the sun, enjoying its healing qualities of extra energy, stretching, eating very light food, avoiding sugar, and the sun will have a very big impact. It's a time of abundance. If you just relax, let your body open, enjoy the summer months, and let deep wounds heal. One of the main things you can do is just get up, be a little bit active, and expose yourself to other people. Being open to other people is very healing for emotional and physical disorders on the level of the heart. The mental disorders are a little bit trickier. Avoiding chemicals and trying to relax a little bit is an important part of healing the mind. But of course, learning breath control and meditation, pranayama, breathing techniques, all part of it. But in the summer months, that's a really good time to do that. And just going out in the mornings and exercising is really, really good. There are things out there to help everyone with mental problems and with emotional heart problems. They're the things that can really heal up. If you've had heart operations in the past, if you've got some cardiovascular illnesses like cholesterol and damage in the heart, gentle exercise every morning. It's a great time to heal the heart. It's a wonderful time to have lots of salads and vegetables and grains and avoiding things that damage the heart, which is by now, after me repeating it quite a few times, you'll probably understand that the strong belief for Ryoho is avoiding sugar, lots of fruit, and animal products is the right way to go. Extreme foods create extreme reactions. Gentle foods create gentle reactions and allows the body to relax and to heal. Some strong foods might work as a medicine in certain cases, but they should be done under supervision, of course. So hopefully people out there might enjoy the summertime of great healing for mental and emotional disorders. This is the time to expose yourself, analyze your issues, and share those issues with those around you and expose your heart, your mind, and your thoughts. And you might get corrected, but you'll get perspective that way. In other words, connect with people and you'll get feedback. You'll get this communication system happening. And there's people out there that are wise and supportive and will help you heal.
This summer episode would not be complete without asking you about melatonin and building up a tan. There's a lot of information out there about skin cancer and aging and sun protection, which has caused a lot of fear in a lot of people and a lot of people to cover up, which is a great thing in many circumstances. Can you give us your perspective on building up a tan during summer? And also any other observations and perspectives that you think is important for our listeners to know?
There's a few things in summer that works very, very hard, and that's your skin and your capillaries. It's a great time to heal up the capillaries and the lymphatic system, and they heal from moving around, but they also heal from having sun on you. So we're getting a bit of a problem in our modern community now. We're putting on too much sunscreen and we're developing vitamin B deficiencies. Having a little bit of vitamin B foods like mushrooms helps, but sun's nice if you've got it available to you. Now, the normal thing to do is not eat too much sugar and avoid sugar generally. And the deep belief we have in Ryoho is that if you don't eat too much sugar, your skin won't burn as easily. Now, that's something for people to try, not scoff at maybe, and see. So go out. The normal thing to do is to go out and 5 minutes, let your skin get used to the sun and adapt a little bit. Get a little bit of sun on it. And it flies in the face of maybe a lot of the normal research that we're hearing, where you're not supposed to adapt your skin to the sun. But a little bit is very good for happiness. Your body will feel happier. You'll feel happier. It generates happy hormones inside you. And it's a good, healthy thing to do to expose your body to the sun a little bit. Now, I'm talking, 10, 15 minutes, maybe sitting on the balcony and being wrapped up in some sort of light towel or cloth and expose your body for a couple of minutes to the hot morning sun and then cover it up again. Expose it again in a few minutes once it's cooled down again, and let your body adapt a little bit to the sun and enjoy the benefits of that. It's very healing. On the other hand, what you can do is put tons of sunscreen on you. And now what we have always believed is that sunscreen, being what it is and its chemical nature, can have very, very negative effects. And a lot of illnesses are coming out of the modern sunscreens. There are some healthy alternatives like zinc and natural products. Have a look at those and try and find what suits you. The normal thing is to not be in the sun all day long and even carry a little umbrella, wear a broad-rimmed hat, cover yourself up a little bit, sit in the sun in the shade, and not be in the bright burning sun all day long. But if you don't acclimatize a little bit, you will burn very, very quickly in half an hour. We have a double problem now in some countries like Australia, and it's affecting the whole world, of course, but Australia's copped, I think, the major part of it where the ozone layer is missing and the sun burns you a lot faster now. So even more reason to protect. And wearing chemical screening agent is not that healthy. Better to avoid the sun. On the other hand, a little bit will get that nice color happening that we all think is healthy. Just a little bit of sun to acclimatize so that you don't burn terribly if you do get caught in the sun for half an hour or an hour when you go swimming. And it's a strong recommendation. This is something that's been done over a long period of time, and it's something that's normal. As the sun gets hotter, we get a little bit more sun, and we're not used to, as an animal, as a human being, to just suddenly have a holiday and then be in the sun. In the past, we would slowly have a little bit more sun and it would get a little bit hotter. We would be out a little bit more. But since the Industrial Revolution started, we're working very hard, being inside a lot, being in our cars, and then suddenly we're on holiday. So if you do go on holiday, if you're having a wonderful summer break, just 5 minutes in the sun in the mornings, get a little bit of sun on you, let the skin adapt, and it'll be great healing for circulatory problems, the lymphatic system, and any capillaries you might have on your legs or on your face. And just be a little bit active, and that'll help enormously. So enjoy the summer.
And that wraps it up for today. And we hope you've enjoyed this episode just as much as we've enjoyed putting it together for you. The second part of our summer episode series will be posted very shortly, and we'll let you know as soon as it's ready. Any listeners who would like to learn more about Andre's work or Ryoho can connect and follow on Instagram and LinkedIn using the address of Ryoho Wellness. We spell Ryoho Ryoho and then add wellness on the end, obviously. Episode notes will be loaded up and available at ryohowellness.com, which is the master website. And just a few more things before you take off. Number 1, do you have a health issue or question you would like explored in one of our podcasts? Please submit it to us at the website where there is a contact page, ryohowellness.com website. Number 2, would you enjoy being notified by very short email every time we do something on Ryoho Wellness? This includes notification of our up-and-coming wellness podcasts and other things towards our tipping point. If you want to receive that, go to ryohowellness.com and drop in your email address and you'll get the very next one. And we hope you really enjoy it. Thanks everyone for listening, and thank you, Andre, for another fantastic episode. See you next time.